Okay, so here's episode 2. So imagine this. Imagine you're talking to somebody. Now, this is 30 years ago. Nighttime. And you're, I don't know, 27, 30, right in that age. 31, something like that. 27, 31. Anyway, talking to somebody. Oh, yeah, I'm old enough. You go meet, and things come close to happening or whatever. Come to find out later on, that person was not of age, even though they lied to you. And remember, in Florida and a couple other states, you are not allowed to use that as a defense. Okay, but you're thinking to yourself, you did your due diligence, making sure best you can, person's of age. No problem. Anyway, you meet up, and then go and drop the other person off. And 3 days later, police are pounding on your door to arrest you. You're like, what'd I do? Take your computer that's on the adjacent property, not in your property. They take your vehicle that's parked on the adjacent property, not your property. They had a search warrant for your property. And you get charged with 2 counts of attempted lewd and lascivious acts on a minor. And some telecommunication stuff. And you're thinking all the time, hey, you did everything you were supposed to, everything you could possibly do. You'll be okay. As this case continues, you find out that the mother was an ex-FBI agent. All right, well, you still didn't do nothing wrong. You're covered. Well, unbeknownst to you still, you are unable to use it as a defense that the age was misrepresented and everything else, even though you did everything you possibly could. In Florida, you are unable to use that as a defense. So there's 2 high-profile attorneys in this area. You hire one of them for a good amount of money. And you don't have money. Your family don't have money. You're by yourself. No family in the area. And the attorney takes deposition, and the attorney says, well, they said it wasn't your fault, that they lied about their age, and you can't use it as a defense. And they said, the so-called victim says it wasn't your fault and wants nothing to happen to you. But the mother wants you dead, the ex-FBI agent. you're thinking, how can it be? How can I use it as a defense? So you learn it's against the law to use it as a defense. Forget what they call it. That's why I said, if you know anybody coming to Florida or whatever, you make sure they know. Even if somebody presents them as in a bar drinking, club drinking, and they show them an ID, if it's not real, you're fucked. The older one's fucked. And this is no lie. This is the way the Florida laws are. You cannot use that as a defense. So anyway, where it says the state wants to give you, I forget how many years in prison. I said, why? He said, I've never been in trouble in my life. I said, well, I said, years ago, I was arrested for open lewdness, and I forgot all about it. I said, oh, yeah, I shot the moon. I said, well, the state, I said, get records out from the court. I said, even the judge was laughing about it and couldn't believe it. This high-profile, expensive lawyer never did. Said, well, the state thinks where there's smoke, there's fire. And I begged them to get records and show the state. Never heard nothing about that. Next thing I know, I get a phone call. Hey, they're offering you 2 years sex offender probation and 1 year sex offender probation and 2 years regular probation. Now, they really think I raped a kid. Offering probation. And he said on sex offender registry for 5 years. Or go to trial and they're going to put all these charges back on you that they dropped, and you'll face 30 years in prison. Tell me what you would do. Tell me what the fuck you would do. Now, you think these laws are right and everybody's a fucking pervert and a pedo and all this shit out there. You can go fuck yourself. Yeah, I had enough. I've been living scared and afraid to even fucking turn around, afraid to say something to anybody because I know any accusation will put me in prison or one of these civil commitments for the rest of my fucking life. Now, I was just wrongly fucking arrested again, and I had enough. So then they keep pounding on, oh, well, anybody that's ever been convicted got to do 10 years sex offender probation. That was 20 years. Now it's lifetime. Of isolation. People calling you fucking monsters. People hate you because they put you on a fucking list, tell everybody your fucking business. You have no fucking privacy. Yeah, fuck you. I know a bunch of you out there saying, good, you deserve it. Fuck you. And go straight to fucking hell. Like I said, I had enough. And now I'm speaking out. I don't know what's going to happen this last time, but it's the last fucking time. I do know that. One way or another. I'd rather fucking be dead and keep fucking living like this. And that's exactly what's going to happen soon, one way or another. Fucking old, have medical conditions. So you take the plea deal. While you're on probation, you had a friend that happens to be a cop in the same county that you known for 10 years. And you're supposed to go straight here, straight there that first year. No place, no driving around. This cop, he was a detective at this point, would have me go stop at his house, knowing I'm on this probation, to work on his computer, fix his computer, get him copyware, as they called it, get him copies of software programs without paying for it. Him and his new girlfriend ended up buying a flower shop and set up computers that he would take to this flower shop for her daughter. His brother drove truck, and at some point, he was driving truck for Desert Storm, hauling military stuff. This cop has a great big, nice military toolbox and military tools. And he used to be a cop from another state, a motorcycle cop. He has a motorcycle in which he used to ride there. Lights, radio, siren, everything in his garage. And he's going out and arresting people for this shit. So anyway, I'm on this probation in this Lloyd LP. I mean, we were really good friends. I know my probation people seen him over at my place. Next day, they come over and search for my place left and right. He was told by his bosses, don't talk to me anymore, because I'm a convicted felon. Don't associate with me. And he told his bosses, he said, look, he said, so if that was my child or my brother, you'd tell me the same thing. He said, no, well, that's different. That's family. Yeah, so I consider him family. But he was under a lot of pressure at work. So anyway, he went. I was having problems with I had a vibration in my truck. And he had asked me to save my house. Before that, I borrowed money from him to save the house, because I almost lost it over like $3,000. Well, it wasn't even, it's like $2,500. Was working a minimum wage job, doing computer work for Gateway, close to minimum wage. Set up Gateway's fee-based support. One of like three people, maybe five people, three people that started it. There weren't many of us selected out of several hundred and paying us peanuts. But anyway, I couldn't afford to pay him back right away. Bill for Powell because I couldn't get a good job, or any job, really, for that matter, except this one. Filed bankruptcy, but before I did that, this cop, my friend, wanted to borrow my truck to take several hundred miles to this flower shop to haul stuff and relocating it or something like that. I said, okay. I sort of felt obligated to him since he was kind enough to lend me money. I said, I told him there was a vibration in it. So I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if it's ball joint, tires, tie rod end. I don't know what it is. out of balance. I said, there's a vibration at a certain speed. I didn't have the money to get it fixed. Anyway, he was supposed to drive the truck back to me in like 3 days. Never heard from him. 5 days go past. Finally, he brings it back late at night. And he says, you son of a bitch, you knew you had a bad tire. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He said, I had a tire blowout on me. And he goes, it really blew out. I said, oh, thanks for changing it. Well, I had no idea. Next day, I get up and go out. I see the steering wheel of the truck. It has like sticky stuff all over it. And I'm like, what? Like where the airbag is. One of the first airbags, I guess, this vehicle. I look at the truck, go look at the tire, what tire it was, because he didn't say nothing. I see the passenger side fenders all tore apart. Big dent in the bottom of it by the door. I believe he put the jack there. And this was a tire from Pep Boys. I think Cooper Tire was making for him. And this was back when they were having the tires shred. Going down the road, the tires were just shred. And that's what happened to this tire. I called him up. I said, what the hell did you do? Put the jack there? He goes, no, the tire blew out. Like almost $5,000 in damage to get it repaired. So I said, hey, I got an estimate. I said, between the two, I said, like $5,000. I said, what I think's fair is you pay half and I pay half. And he right away, he started cussing me. He said, I ain't going to pay you anything. You knew you had a bad tire and all this stuff. But all right. Well, I got your money. You ain't getting paid back. Anyway, I ended up filing for bankruptcy and included him in it. And wouldn't you know, that's what that son of a bitch did. Like 2 days after I filed bankruptcy, he didn't know I even filed it for 3 days. It was just perfect timing on my part. He filed something called a writ of replevin. I never heard of it before. I'm still not sure what it is, but him being a cop, he used his thing, went to a judge, got a judge to sign a writ of replevin saying he can take my vehicle because I owe him money. The police come and they towed the vehicle. I called the lawyer, said, hey, I filed for bankruptcy. And the lawyer said, all right, I'll tell you what, give me $1,000. I'll get it back. He filed emergency motion, drove like an hour and a half to the courthouse. And the judge says, I should have never signed this. I'm washing my hands of it. And that was it. I got the vehicle back. So anyway, go to a special court hearing because he violated the bankruptcy protection order with this writ of replevin. And before that, the lawyer says, look, I'll go and represent you, but I'm going to be billing at this amount of money per hour. He goes, I'll get you your money back, but I keep everything else. So you'll be made whole. Now, that lawyer ended up charging him, I forget how much money, several $1,000s. And I never got my $1,000 back. He screwed me out of my $1,000 also. there is a point of this bankruptcy story. So anyway, he was ordered to pay, and he got payment, or he paid, but I had to have a hearing of the creditors. And this hearing might have taken place before this proceeding, I think, or maybe after. I'm not sure the exact time. But anyway, he wrote this and that. I had an RV that I had moved, was sitting on a lot. It was tore up, it was in bad shape. But he went there, and I bought it off of somewhere. There was no title to it. It was a good brand name RV, fifth wheel RV, a Holiday. Had a big satellite dish on top, 40-footer. He went there with his police car, because I happened to drive past and seen it, looking at the serial numbers of this fifth wheel to track it down using police resources. He got stuck because of rain, because he drove his car right to it. It's just lot. And this is important now. This is the RV guy on the corner. I guess that guy pulled him out. I'm not sure how he got out. I just drove by and seen him there checking it out. And he got stuck. Because I think I seen him when I drove past, looking at the wheels and all the police car, unmarked car, all full of mud. And there's a reason I told you that part too. But anyway, at the meeting of the creditors, he tells them, well, I have this, I have that. He's trying to throw me under the bus. Well, they already knew everything. So it didn't work. When I left the meeting of creditors, I couldn't believe what he did to me. That he wanted to be that dirty. All over this tire that blew out when he used my truck and didn't want to take any responsibility. When he did this, now I'm no longer on probation or anything at this time. I never did no jail. 3 years probation, and that was total, and that was it. And I'm probably just off probation, not long at this point. But I got a meeting of the creditors at the bankruptcy court. And I called the sheriff's office and I asked if they could give a message to him. Well, they patched me through to him on his radio. It was a private, it ended up being private, like a phone call, but they had somehow take a phone call and patch it through to the police radio. But only he could hear it, I guess. Or maybe they patched it through to his phone forward. I don't know what they did. I'm not 100%. I thought they patched it through the police radio, but they might have did the phone. I'm not 100% sure. And cell phones were in their infancy back then. Which I didn't know. I just wanted to leave him a message. Anyway, he answered. I said, I'm on my way into the sheriff's office. You better think about immediate retirement. And I hung up. And I drove straight from that courthouse in Orlando, Florida, to Lake County Courthouse, or to Lake County Sheriff's Office. I was in tears doing what I had to do. I went in there to the sheriff's office and look, while I'm on probation, I said, I know this here. I said, while I'm on probation, I said, I know you told him to stay away from me and everything else. And I told him the story that he told me. And he told you, well, what if it's my kid? Anyway, I'm on house arrest, and he has me stopping by his house, fixing his computer, setting up computers, giving him copies of programs, computer programs that he never bought for his flower shop. Then he used my truck to go down there and move the flower shop. And I can tell you several illegal programs that he never paid for that are on that computer because I set it up. And I told him about the brother driving truck and the toolbox and the motorcycle in his garage from the last police department he used to work at. I was in tears. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. This guy was collecting a pension from that police department, and he was like 2-3 years away from full pension from this police sheriff's office. Then I moved down here to this area, and I started driving truck because there were hurricanes and stuff. And I'm pretty sure he made a phone call to this area, to the sheriff's office down here. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. Now we're up to about 20 years ago, and I'm going to stop here. Now we get into fucking what really has me, and I'm done. And this goes back about 20 years, 21, 19, right in there. All right. As long as I'm still on this earth, the story will be continued. If not, all I'll say is look up my arrest record. And this is the third time. That's all I'm saying. It goes back 20 years. I had enough.